Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to another special edition of Broken Not Shattered. This is your host, Ike O. I am in the house today with a very special guest on this podcast. For me, I think this is one of the greatest stories I've ever heard. My guest today is Mason Sawyer. Mason is based out of Utah. Mason, how you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me. I
Thanks.
appreciate it.
Good. How's your son coming along?
I'm so glad you asked. He's doing so good. He just turned 8 and he's playing football and skateboarding and going to school and reading and he's doing a lot. So he's at a very fun age. So he's doing good.
Good. Now, obviously, our audience cut across globally, and I want you to take your time and the space that we have to share your story. Your story is, I don't know how you're here, brother. That's how I see it. It's just for the grace of God that you went through what you went through, and um, you're still being able to now pour back and help others. But I'll let you tell the story yourself. Tell us, 2021, your life was normal until what date? What happened?
Yeah, my life was very much normal. I was a high school basketball coach. I married my high school sweetheart, Courtney.
Well,
We had 3 kids together, Riggins, Blue, and Frankie, 2 boys and a girl. And life was good, man. Courtney was a nurse. I was a teacher and coached basketball, and we had it good. And then I got a phone call. I got a job offer from this place in southern Utah. They wanted to hire me to be their basketball operations guy, which meant training players, putting together AAU teams, and just being a full time trainer. And I don't know what that sounds like to you, but that was like my dream job. Like,
that's big.
yeah, I was ecstatic. I'm like, wow, this
Yeah.
is amazing. So I tell my wife Courtney about it, and she's like, well, yeah, we have to. So we moved to southern Utah. Courtney becomes a home and hospice nurse, and she loves it. She gets to travel and visit people as they're getting close to the end of their life.
Mm.
And then I'm starting my new career as this basketball coach, and our 3 kids are loving the new place we're living, and things are going good. And then probably a couple weeks after I accepted that job, it was our family reunion that we do every year, and we never miss them. But the weekend of our family reunion was the same weekend as our first basketball tournament, with me being the new coach. And so I just felt like I couldn't miss the first tournament. Like I just took the job. I got to show them that I'm committed. And so I told my family we weren't going, and everyone understood. It was no big deal. And then a couple days go by, my wife, Courtney, comes up to me and she's like, hey, you're going to be coaching all weekend. I think I'm just going to go to the family reunion. I'm like, great. Kids will love it. You should call my brother. My brother Race lives in the same town as we do. He's going to the same reunion. So I thought maybe they could follow each other or drive together, something. So she calls my brother Race, and he has similar thing going on. So his wife and 2 of his kids are not going to the family reunion, but my brother Race and his youngest son Ryder are going.
No.
So my brother Race and my nephew Ryder get into my car with my family, Courtney, Riggins, Blue, and Frankie, and they go to the family reunion. That Sunday, I'm just laying in my bed, waiting, just literally waiting for them to come home. My wife, Courtney, texted me a couple hours before and was like, hey, vacation was great. We're coming home, be home in a couple hours. And I text back, like, great. Can't wait to see you. So I'm laying in bed, and I get a phone call, and it's an unknown number. And I usually don't answer it, but I answered it, and it says, hey, I'm Dr. So and so. There's been a terrible car crash. There's been a 22 car pileup, and everyone's dead except for one person. And so I didn't really, that's kind of what I heard. There's a chance he told me much more clear what was happening, but my brain was immediately broken. And I just remember fell to the ground, um, just crying. And um, I just remember there hearing this noise. And I'm like, what is that noise? And like realizing that noise was me. That noise is coming from my body. It was like out of the body, but very much in body. And
Yes.
um, I think I said you're joking. Like, this is a joke. So there's shock, there's crying, there was anger, there was denial, it was just everything. Um, and so through all that, I just kind of hear one survivor, and so part of me is like, okay, like, you got to pick up the phone, you got to stop making these noises so we can hear who the survivor is. And so then my brain just starts flipping through everyone, like, okay.
Mhm.
And so I remember just praying, like, don't let it be my brother or my nephew, because then, my whole family's dead, and I can't do that. And so just kind of remember, like, praying for that. And then
Take your time, man. Take your time.
and then so I pick up the phone, and he's like, the survivor is a 3-year-old. So fall back down. And so that means my wife's Courtney's dead. We were high school sweethearts. I met her when I was 15. Like, I did, she was all I ever had.
Mm.
So she's dead. And then my son Riggins is dead. My daughter Frankie's dead. My brother Race is dead. And my nephew Ryder's dead.
Hmm.
And then just, so much guilt for a lot of things. Not being in the car and saying a prayer like that, hoping your brother and nephew. So just hard. Just hard. But my son Blue, he survived. He had a broken hand, and he had like a deep cut on his head, but he survived, and so that's why I'm still here and have to keep going. And um, and so because I have to keep going for Blue, I started a podcast to talk about grief and shame and all those things. So yeah, that's kind of a little bit of my story.
Wow. I know this is just a scratch on the surface of what you had to deal with, and I know just thinking about it now still breaks your heart. Um, my heart goes out to you, brother, and my heart goes out to you.
Thank you.
That is a lot. That's a lot to deal with. That's a lot to handle. That's a lot of for anyone to go through at any given time. But the most important thing is that you have now been able to recover gradually. I mean, to the best of your ability. Obviously, it's one day at a time. Um, Losing so many people, so many loved ones at a single moment is unimaginable. I just can't fathom it. What would you say was the hardest part of waking up to this new reality for you?
Well, first, I just want to clarify that, I think progress has been made by me. I'm not sure what I mean by that, but yeah, I think I've been able to carry the weight of it a little better now, but I'm still very much hurting and still don't have a lot of answers. And, you know, when people say, like, I don't know how you do it, I'm still very much kind of stuck in the same boat. I'm confused how it keeps, how I keep doing it. I'm not really sure. The days just keep going by. So I think one thing I've learned is, I guess, is just purpose is better than joy or passion, or I don't know. I have Blue. My Blue survived, and so despite all the feelings I have that are not good, I still have so much um, to be grateful for. Um, and I love being a dad. Being a dad is my favorite thing, and I still have that. So I just try to be a good dad for Blue, and losing kids um, just really makes you appreciate, you know, your kid that you have left, I guess.
Mhm.
So just cherishing every moment with him and trying to be a good example to him of what to do when life gets hard and when
Mhm.
life's fair.
Do you want to take a break? Oh, do we keep on going?
No, I'm good. This is how it usually goes for
Yeah.
me.
Listen, I
But
know.
I'm good. I'm good. Sorry.
No, no, no.
I
Don't
usually
please.
just talk through it.
Do not apologize.
Keep
Just
on going. But if you need a break or whatever,
no. If you're good, I'm good, sir. That's yeah,
no, I appreciate the conversation.
yeah.
You know, not a lot of people want to actually sit in it with you. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they just want to take your pain away. Like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, they're in a better place.
Mm.
It's part of the plan.
Right.
And it's out of love, you know. So you can't really get mad at them because
Yeah.
at least you're showing up. At least you're wanting to talk to me. Most people, they can't even they it hurts too much. It makes them my pain is so uncomfortable for them that they have to rationalize it in their own way and just kind of avoid me.
Mm.
And you know that's very unfair for me to say because I had so much help, dude. Like community showed up for me. It like so I have many people to thank, and I
Mm.
definitely can't do this alone. But also, like, you know, you hit the 6 month mark and everyone's back to the work and whatever it is, and you're just stuck there
By
like
yourself, yeah.
yeah, you're just still stuck in the grief and everyone else, you know, it's not their wife, it's not their kids, it's not their brother, it's not their nephew. So yeah, it might hit home and they might think about it a lot, but they're not going home to an empty house now.
Right.
They're not a single father now.
No,
They're not talking and imagining what it would be like dead people all day long. Like they're not doing that.
right.
So it's just a different world, different situation that I'm in that people who aren't experiencing grief just can't
Mhm.
really relate to, and it makes it hard. It makes
Mhm.
it hard. It makes me feel weird and not sure where I belong because many of the things I want to say that I feel are valid, most people like, oh, like, we don't want to talk about that. Like, and so it's just like,
Yeah, because they haven't walked in the shoes that you're.
yeah. So I wake up. I'm not even in control of my own thought. Like I just wake up and boom, thoughts of them are in my brain.
Mm.
Because of those thoughts, it's just sadness, the emotion of sadness and
Mm.
anger. And so you don't even feel like you have much control of anything. And then you go outside and you talk to someone and they're like, yeah, everything happens for a reason. And then they're complaining about the traffic.
Mhm.
It's just like
Yeah.
I don't
I just lost my entire family, and all you're worried about is traffic.
yeah,
Like,
so
yeah.
yeah. And again, so like part of it is just trying to be humble and just understand that well, when I started my podcast, dude,
Mm.
man, that helped me because now, oh, I found my tribe. And it's not a lot of people. It's not a huge following, but man, like people hurting like me who feel like me, like I found them.
Wow.
And that's another lesson I learned through this is you have to be your authentic self. There's nowhere else. You can't be anything else but your true authentic self. And if you are your true authentic self, I think you're going to attract people that like your authentic self, and you'll find your tribe, people who really care about you and relate to you.
That's right. What is really
And that community, man, they keep me going. Because I just feel a bit awkward and out of place with everything.
Talk about keeping you going, Mason. What role has Blue played in your decision making to keep you going?
He's everything, man. So the car crash when they life flighted Blue was about a 4-hour drive for me, and I couldn't drive because I was just screaming and crying, and I was just getting phone call after phone call. So I just could not drive, and so I called my buddy Jake, and he's driving me 4 hours to get to Blue, and I'm not sure what condition Blue is in at the time. They're life flighting him. Everyone else in the car is dead. So I'm thinking, like, he might not make it. And so I remember telling my friend Jake in the car, like, if Blue doesn't make it, like, I'm gonna kill myself. Like, I am. But Blue made it. And the headline was very close to being family dies in car crash, father kills himself in the aftermath. Like, we were so close to that. But Blue made it. And there's a Metallica song I love called One. And in it, he says, I cannot live, I cannot die. And I feel that. And I want to die so bad to see my family or for the pain to stop. But you can't because of Blue. Like, it's just, I don't even deal with suicide ideation. So it's weird. Like, maybe I obsess with death, but would never kill myself because of Blue. So it's just this weird gray area to be in. And there's a lot of bad decisions you can make in that mindset. Like, you could just turn to numbing and drugs and alcohol and anger. You could just totally do that. But my wife, Courtney, is so awesome, man. And such a good person. She just wouldn't do that. She would help people. So I think one way I can keep her alive is trying to be like her. And so I'm trying to help people from something that's really awful, and I think that's just like the most Courtney thing I can do. So
wow, we're going to take a break, Mason.
Okay,
it's going to be a few seconds, and we're back again. And when we come back, there's something you often talk about, the 10-90 principle.
Okay,
I would like you to share more about that.
Yeah, sounds good.
Let's take a break. And we are back on this special Sunday with my guest, Mason Sawyer. Mason lost 90% of his family, if I could say that. Wife, kids, brother, and nephew in a single accident. And the only survivor in the accident was his son, Blue. Mason, welcome back to the BNS podcast. There's something you talk about, brother, a lot about the 10-90 principle. Take a moment and share that principle with our audience and where it actually came from. Thanks.
Yeah, so I was so I want to start this podcast and talk about grief, and so I have to give it a name. I'm not sure how you came up with your name, but it's kind of hard. Like, what am I going to name?
I'll tell you in a second how I came up with my name. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I'm like, man, and so I'm just kind of flirting with some ideas, and And then my dad, he emailed me this quote because my dad was attending like this grief seminar thing. And he sent me this quote that he liked. And the quote was, life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you respond to it.
Wow.
And once I read it, I was just, and he said other things in the email that I really appreciated. Like, if there's anything I could do or we could do to change it, we would. But what happened, and now all we really have control over is how are we going to respond. And it was just like this beautiful email from my dad. I'm just like, man, like this is everything that I want my podcast to be. And so I named it the 1090 podcast after that quote. Life's 10% what happens to you and 90% how you respond to it. I just think there's a lot of truth in it. And I think, we live in a world where everyone thinks they're a genius because they have a phone and they can upload videos of themselves. And so everyone just thinks they're smart and like, listen to me. And I love the quote because it's not telling you anything. It's not telling you a damn thing. It ends with a question. It ends with a question. It's totally up to you. It's not even telling you what to do. It's just simply telling you things are going to happen to you. Life's unfair. The only thing you have control over is how you're going to respond to that. And as angry as I am and as sad as I am, putting my energy into something I cannot change just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I can't get any of them back. But how I respond to it will have a huge impact on my son, Blue. And it could have an impact on other people too. But that's where any power I have left, any meaning I have left is in that question. How am I going to respond to this? That shows who I am. That shows who they were. And that will, again, probably determine what kind of person Blue will be one day.
It is a very powerful concept, a principle to think about. That it's up to us on how to handle that 90%. How we choose to respond to it, what we want to do with it, is entirely up to us. You asked the question, how did I come up with my podcast? Brother, it was how I chose to respond to my own grief. It wasn't as something as what you have gone through. Mine was a divorce, and it was a very dark time and dark place for me. Still grief in my own way. And I heard that voice that, what you've gone through is going to help inspire other people. You will be a voice to encourage other people who are going through this kind of stuff. And the name Broken But Not Shattered came into my spirit, man, and I kept it, but I didn't want to deal with it. For almost 5 years, I didn't touch it. And it kept on nagging me in the back of my head. You got to do something with this. And 4 years ago, I started. And 4 years running, we haven't stopped. Like clockwork, every Sunday, whether I was sick, tired, exhausted, I show up. Because there is someone out there that you're going to speak to that I can't reach. But I just create the platform, and here you are, speaking to people who have gone through what you have gone through. And that's why the BNS podcast is here. Broken, not shattered.
Yeah, I love that. I love that story. And I think this needs to be said because it's hard for men to talk.
Yeah.
And everyone says this to me. It's not as bad as yours, but blah, blah, blah. And this, my divorce isn't as bad as yours, blah, blah, blah. And this is like what keeps men from talking. Because this is what we compare it. This is what we do.
Yeah,
like, you look at my story, like Mason's wife and kids died, and I'm just dealing with my sister dying. I can't say, like, that's what we do.
That's right.
And so it's just this, but it's funny though, because if you didn't say that and you're like, Mason, I know how you feel because I had a divorce, I would want to punch you in the face.
Exactly.
it's like this weird coexistence of like, you need to
yeah.
Because I do appreciate it, but then let me say we don't need to compare it.
Right.
Because like it's just I don't know, but so I don't know what to tell people because
Yeah.
you shouldn't
Yes.
compare it
Yeah.
because you need to express how you feel. It
Exactly.
matters, and it doesn't matter what anyone else is feeling. You matter. Like
Yeah.
love yourself enough to tell your
Express it.
story.
Yeah.
But man, like also like I do think it is important that we maybe compare a little bit. But yeah, I love no, I
You
love
know,
that story. I love that story to how you found your name, man. I
yeah,
think that's a beautiful concept.
thank you. Thank you. Got two more questions. One is from our audience, and the next one is from me. Um, if you were to look at your own story, your own world, and someone says broken, not shattered, what would that mean to Mason?
Oh man, well I definitely feel broken and shattered.
No.
But I think I don't know, the concept I get from your name is like even though like you are broken, you're not shattered in the sense. Well, it's honestly a lot like the quote I love. It's just it's this idea of you're broken, but you're not shattered in the sense of you know you're gonna quit.
Yeah.
You're just gonna lay down and give up. Like
Mhm.
no, like you're not shattered. Like there's still decisions to be made. Like what are you gonna do with these pieces? And shattered is a beautiful thing. And there's a story, real quick. I'll make it quick. There's a
No.
story of this golden Buddha, and these Buddhist monks are about to be invaded by these other people. So they cover up this golden statue so it's not, stolen or ruined by these invaders. So they cover it up with mud and stones and sticks. They get invaded. Years and years and years go by. Monks gather, they're worshiping under this statue, and they see a little chip fall off this statue. And this monk goes up and he starts peeling off the layers and he realizes it's gold. So he goes back to the village and he tells everyone, and they come back and they peel off all these pieces. And the story of the metaphor is this Buddha, this statue that was fractured, right? It was fractured and this piece fell off.
Mm.
Instead of trying to put the pieces back on to cover it back up, which is what we try to do in society. Here's medication. Here's a tissue. Don't cry. Do this. Go to, do this, do that. Don't be broken. And in reality, the shattering reveals who you really are. The gold inside of you. And so when I was shattered, at first I was just trying to pick up all these pieces. And I just couldn't. You just can't put it back together. But instead, I just looked inward. And because of the shattering that took place, I was able to see the strength inside of me all along. And that's a beautiful part of just getting really, really hurt and shattered is you're broken to your core. You find your authentic self, who you really, really are.
Yeah.
And obviously, any life lesson I would trade to have one of my kids back. But no, that's a valuable lesson I've learned, man, is usually the worst parts about your life are going to be the biggest moments that help you become whoever it is you're going to become. So I don't know, that's kind of what I got from when I hear your name, that story kind of popped into my head.
That's good. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Yeah, man.
I'm glad you're able to make it here. Talk about grief. Are you going through any kind of counseling? Did you go for counseling? How are you able to navigate your grief and find that balance?
Yeah, great question. I went to therapy, probably went to 4 or 5 until I found a guy I really liked and connected with. So that would be my advice is, if you go once and it's a bad experience, go again, go a couple times, shop around, date around a little bit for a therapist. Because I do think, you want to feel heard. They're not going to fix your problems, but you want to feel heard. You want to feel a connection. And I finally found that with my therapist, Matt, and man, he's done an incredible job helping me realize that, yeah, I am going to be sad forever. I can also be happy, and I deserve to be happy too. And he's really helped me allow myself to be happy again.
Big shout out to Matt, wherever you are, sir.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you
love that. Thanks.
for
Thanks.
working with our brother Mason on this trip, on this journey that he's on. Let me ask this question that someone just asked, right? And then I'll put you to the last question. Someone just said, if someone's listening and is going through the same devastating loss as you went through, what is the one thing you will want them to hear right now?
Sorry. It's not fair. It's not your fault. And you're not alone. And even though it might be really, really similar, I'm not sure what they've lost, but it's always different. Because I don't know their kids. I don't know their wife. I don't know their brother. And so even though there's real beauty in finding people like you, I think it's also insincere. No one knows each other's pain 100%. So I'm sorry. And then ask for help. That's one of the hardest. I don't know why it's so hard.
Yeah, especially for men.
You got to ask for help.
Yeah, especially for us men.
And then my advice is when you ask for help, just find ways to help back. You just got to give back. You don't need to feel awful. You don't need to beat yourself up. You just find ways to help back. And it's really unfair because usually people help you, you help back. That's the cycle. Some people are so alone. Some people have gone through something like me and they don't have the support like I have. They have no one to go to ask for help. No one. And so to them, I would say it's completely unfair and backwards. It shouldn't be this way, but you have to go help people first. You do. And it's totally unfair. And I'm sorry, but yeah, if no one's helping you and you have no one to ask for help, you got to go find people to help. And then you'll start this cycle of getting help back. And that's just a really unfair thing. It should be the other way. But those are a couple things I'd say to them, and maybe just cry. I think you really just allow yourself to cry and feel it. Yeah, don't run away from it. It's not going away.
That's true. Whew. Okay. Right. I agree with you, Mason. I think we were all created to serve humanity one way or the other. And in the process of giving back one way or the other, we find who we are, we find the essence of living, and then we also find healing in that process. And that's just my belief, that we were born to serve, created to serve each other. Talked about support system. Any plans of anyone else in your life? How are you coping?
Yeah, it'd just be such a long list of people. But obviously Blue, and I started dating again, falling in love again with my girlfriend Sammy. So I should thank her too.
Hey, Sammy, thank you for being
yeah,
here.
she's wonderful for Blue, and her and Blue have a great relationship. So that's going well.
That's good. That's good. All right. Okay. We're done with the interview, brother. Thank you so much for making out time. We have a culture that we've started about a year ago now, and it's called a drop-off question. And what happens is the last guest, whoever it was, not knowing who's going to come next after them, whether it's male, female, doesn't matter the race or Christian background, they just have a question. And then we put that question to our guest, and then you have to come up with one. So while you're thinking of this, also
I like this a lot. I might have to steal this from you. This is
cool. So the last person we had on the show before yours asked the question. He says, as you're trying to fix what is broken, are you doing it mostly for yourself, your loved ones, or for the general population, and why?
I think
they didn't know who the next person was. They just asked the question. Trust me, this guy is somewhere in Africa. He's a top designer. He has no clue That Mason Sawyer was
This is so cool, man.
This is so appropriate. Yep.
I think it's 100% blue, especially at the beginning. But then it definitely evolved for myself. Like I remember, it was definitely blue, and then it was like, yeah, if I take care of myself, then I'm able to take care of blue better. So then I had this desire to do it for me. Like, I need to work on some things so I can get better, because then I can be better for blue.
Wow.
And then when those two things started happening, I started this podcast, and then I started to help other people. So I think it's kind of all three, but maybe just started with blue. Like, that's like the foundation of it, and then me, and then everyone else. But that's kind of how it's unfolded for me. But I'm always going to answer blue if I had to pick one of them. I have a question. I was journaling last night, and I have a question. I was journaling about this question, and I don't have an answer to it either. But I have a question ready to go.
Ready to go? Get your drop off question. That's good.
Okay, it's a dark question, and it might sound easy to answer at first, but it's the classic Shakespeare question. This is the question of all questions: to be or not to be. That is the question.
Wow.
And for me, and I know everyone answers yeah, but it hurts bad, man. It hurts bad, and sometimes I don't know. I really don't know. So it's just it was a question I was thinking about last night. So I'll throw that one out there.
Or not to be.
Shakespeare. I stole it from Shakespeare. I'm a Shakespeare.
Yeah, I know the Shakespeare. I know the Shakespeare concept of to be or not to be. But coming from you, what does that mean, though? What would you have?
I think it shows me just the total the perspective shift I've had, what losing my family has done to me. Because before, that question was so simple, almost a rhetorical question. Yeah, of course, you choose life over, yeah, you choose to exist over not existing. And now it's waking up and having I question it. I'm not sure if it's worth it, man. We sleep 8 hours a day. We do laundry. You have to eat 3 times a day. Then you have to take a shit. Are we even really, what are we even, then you stare at your phone for 7 hours a day. I mean, look at the statistics on your phone. So really, is it really worth all this pain for this? It's a dark question, man, but I don't know sometimes.
Well, I'm gonna leave that question for the next guest when they come.
I like that. I don't have to answer it, and
no. But I think I feel a connection here of some sort. I'm just gonna speak from my heart, and forgive me.
Please go for it.
For me, I think you are here for a reason. I don't know what it is, and the picture hasn't been fully unfolded yet. I personally believe you're here for a reason, Mason. And God knew that if blue was not there, maybe you would have made a different decision altogether. And so He has kept that pillar in your life for you to continue what He has planned for you. And please, I'm not undermining your loss in any form, shape, or manner. I'm just speaking from my heart. I think you have a lot to offer the universe. You have a lot to offer humanity. You have a lot to share. And it is to be that you are here. You could have easily been on that trip with everyone else. Trust me. Right? So the fact that you were not on that trip with everyone else and this thing happened, there's a reason why. From the beginning of time, He knows all things. There's a reason why. And please, brother, please, I beg you, stay strong one day at a time. And it will begin to unfold while you're actually here. There is a lot in you that hasn't come out of yet. Think about what you were doing. I don't know if you're still coaching people, if you're still coaching young kids in basketball.
Yeah, a little bit. I coach a couple kids.
Right. So that was your passion. That was your dream job. You were born and created to mold, help, and empower other people. Young people, you're coaching them basketball. That is a team sport where kids at that young age are very vulnerable. young boys, maybe young girls, I don't know who you're coaching, but they need a voice like yours to guide them. Trust me, you have not started yet. That is from my heart to you. There is something bigger, and I will try as much as possible to stay in touch. I'm gonna follow you on your Instagram pages. I'm gonna keep up with you. If you're okay with it, exchange numbers. If you want to talk, whatever it is, you can just pour out your heart. I'm a total stranger to you, so hey, you're in Utah. I'm in all the way in Washington D.C., the Maryland area, right? So but this connection that we're having here on this podcast is not just your regular podcast connection. I feel something strong, and I'm talking to you as a brother from different mothers. Obviously, you can tell from the color of our skin, but we. But at the end
Brother
of the
from
day,
another
man,
mother.
yeah, exactly. But at the end of the day, we both bleed, and I'm telling you the honest truth. There is something much more that you have been allowed to stay here to do. And
I pride myself on being genuine and picking up on whether or not someone's genuine. And I thank you so much, man. You are a genuine good dude, and I really appreciate this conversation just for this conversation's sake. Like, even if it was never recorded, I needed a good cry and some laughs and to be heard. And so thank you, man. I really appreciate you listening. You know, a lot of podcasts I go on, people love to talk. And the listening, there's not a lot of listening going on. And you're a good listener, and I appreciate that.
thank you so much, Mason. Thank you. And thank you for gracing the Business podcast with your presence and your story. For all our audience, we have gone over time, but wherever you are in the world, please follow our social media handles, like, click, and also hit the notification button so we can get great stories like this come out. On behalf of the entire team, we want to say thank you again for joining us, and thank you, Mason. Take care, and let's stay in touch, brother. I'm going to get my team to give you my cell phone number just in case you want to call. Just text me, and then we can go from there. Okay, man?
All right. Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah. All right. It's a wrap. All right, guys. Let's go.